This is Laszlo Vasco with MicroAdventures, and today I'm up at Owl's Head Transportation Museum in Rockland, Maine, and special day today that we're having the Great Race, which is with all these old cars, waiting for the cars to arrive. But in the meantime, there's a great airplane exhibit. These are flying aircraft from the 1910s. So the year 1917 was quite eventful. It's the year that the United States declared war on Germany for World War I and entered World War I. And it's also the year that Ansco manufactured the Ansco Vest 02 camera that I wanted to use to take pictures today. So this camera is over 100 years old, from 1917, and again, it's when the US entered World War I. It's a pocket camera. What's neat about the Ansco is that it uses 120 film, so I'm able to use it with just current film. I've loaded it up and want to take some pictures of these aircraft. Okay, so to jump in and interrupt the programming here, you will soon see this first image will look quite hazy. So it ends up that the Ansco, I believe, has a light leak somewhere, and I examined it subsequently very closely. I looked at it before and also afterwards. I can't find a light leak on the belows. I've looked at it with a strong light inside. So I now suspect that there is a light leak just in the design, or the simplistic design of the case. And back then they did not have film, fast film. So maybe it was a mistake to use a ISO 400 film in this. Or the combination of the design and still having a light leak somewhere. So next time I will try it with a slower film inside, and probably just use the black and white film that they used at the time. All right, so what I've done here is you could see the original Jenny image as it came out, and then I edited it in On1 Raw, which is my image editing app, where I used the dehaze slider to remove some of the haze. I also slightly cropped it into the image in an effort to demonstrate the quality of the image that came out of this camera. So the aircraft here is a 1917 Curtiss JN4D. JN were better known as Jennies, and these were the most successful and prominent training aircraft in World War I for American and other Allied pilots. It was designed by Glenn Curtiss, who met up with British engineer Douglas Thomas when he was working with Sopwith Aviation. And they've been fighting it, and they've been running all day today. So here's the airplane used by the Red Baron, as well the Fokker DR1 Tri Plane. And you haven't seen nothing yet. Okay, we're going to have 500 plus people. This is a replica. Coming here. So get ready for the start of the Great Race. But constructed according to the original plans. And this is the, I think this is the standard J1, also from 1917. Vehicles will be lined up all the way down the flight line. Okay, runway 17, open flight line, folks. The cafe is open, okay, so get your food and dinner here. We're just starting. The vehicles, once they all arrive, they're going to be one of the things I was worried about is, as you could see the red window to line up the numbers, whether or not the position of that would match up with today's films. But evidently, they figured out where to put that right in the beginning, and films ever since then put the numbers on the backing of the film in the correct spot so it does line up, or at least I'll see when I get it developed how well it works. One thing I'm deviating from my authenticity is I'm not using black and white film. Not a huge fan of black and white per se, and I like some images black and white, but not a whole roll. So I put a Fuji 400 film in it, so that doesn't quite match what would have been shot with in 1917, but super neat here to be up. So Owl's Head is a special museum. I've become a member, and it's just amazing with their collection of vintage cars, motorcycles, and airplanes, and the fact that these are working airplanes. But the car should be coming in. Looking forward to taking it. I have just 2 more shots left. This is a 6x9, so it takes 8 images on a 120 roll of film. And so a little bit more detail on the Ansco. It is pretty remarkable that for a 1917, it's got shutter speeds from 1/10 of a second to 1/200th of a second. The aperture goes from f6.3 up to f32. And today's a cloudy day, and hence why I loaded the 400 speed film in it. This one, as you could see, I think is in remarkable shape. I did buy this off eBay, and it came from Colorado, which is the driest state in the US, and I think that explains the condition of it. It's got 2 ways of being able to sight your picture. It has a pop-up sort of sport finder, and interestingly, it has right here also a way of looking through from above. All right, everybody's getting excited because the cars are arriving. They've been driving from over a number of days. Let's go check it out.
Here it is at a whole new life with Brad Phillips from Salisbury, Maryland, your driver Dan Stahl from Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, your navigator 1916 Hudson Super 6. If you don't mind, Brad, briefly explain the sunglasses and your day.
Well, I broke my ones a few days ago, and then I bought these children's ones that I found I really like. And they have a perfect lens, so we're crushing it in these things. Now I can't take them off, so they're terrible, but it's fun. It's great.
So this wraps up the 1917 Enthusiast episode. Please subscribe for the subsequent ones. We're going to be covering the 1920s. Hopefully you've already seen the 1950s and the 1969 Enthusiast. But this is sort of jumping back to the beginning, unless I find an even older camera. But starting with this 1917 episode, then progressing on with the 20s, 30s, and then back on after World War II. And eventually, at some point, we'll reach the digital camera age. But please subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the journey of finding related themes with these old cameras.